Hello everyone, I welcome all of you to this particular video. In this video, we will study about the classification versus regression kind of problem that we do have. What is it? We will see together over the whiteboard. Uh, so let's see you all over the whiteboard. Before going there, I request you all please like and subscribe the channel so that we together can get the benefits from this platform. So see you there over the whiteboard. So I welcome all of you on this screen. Before learning classification versus regression kind of problem, we will first see data matrix notation. That is how we represent data. So let's make a matrix. This is our data set dn, which is here we have. We are considering the same Amazon find food reviews data set that we have already seen into coding part of pre-processing steps. So if you have not seen that video, then please go and watch that video so that you can get more idea about what the data is about. Basically, it's food review data set given by the Amazon. Here what we have? Here we have reviews. So let's say here we have review RI. This review RI represented in the vector form xi, and here we have corresponding. Here we have corresponding by I. So this is the matrix notation of a data. What we have, it will be like Tn, then it's like xi comma by I, where this matrix is of shape M cross N, and so here I will be from 1 to N. I will be I belongs to 1 to N. So this is our data set, and what is by I here? By I is known as the levels. So this by I is the level, and from this we have different kind of level values, and this is something that comes up with different kinds of machine learning problems. So first one is the classification. First one is the classification. So classification means uh, when 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 this level belongs to some very defined classes. It belongs to when by I belongs to some classes, say 0 comma 1, 0 comma 1, that where if you consider Amazon find food reviews data set, then 0 will be negative and 1 say positive reviews. Then this kind of problem which is known as binary classification problem. Binary classification problem, since here we have only two classes, one is negative, another one is positive, and we also have something called multi-class classification. What is multi-class classification? Here instead of two, as name suggests, here we will have multiple kind of classes. Let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it will become multi-class classification problem. Multi-class classification problem. So we have seen what we have seen what is classification. In classification, we have when we have very defined classes, uh, like here we have, or you can say when we have very defined levels, like here we have only 0 1, then it will comes under classification problem. Or here we have very defined classes like 0 to 4, it is still defined, maybe it's more but still defined classes, so then it will also comes under the classification problem. Hope so you understood what is classification problem. Here we call it multi-class classification problem, and here we call it binary class classification problem. Now what is the regression? We have one another kind of problem which is the regression. Here regression means regression, in the regression kind of problem, here by I will belongs to real number, some real number. For example, consider we have xi. In xi, we have say age, gender, race, or some other feature, and then we want to predict yi is height. What's the height? So yi is equal to height. Then this will, since height can be any real number, it it can be it can be 5.1 feet or something else. Since here yi belongs to real number, or you can by I is height, where by I belongs to, when it will belongs to real number, then it will be known as regression kind of problem. And by I is real number, then the problem is known as regression kind of problem. Now, so this is classification and regression. Before ending this video, I'll also wants to tell you one thing is, that is something called how does it actually work. Like, you know, what actually happens, or you can say how classification or regression problem actually work. So let's see how classification or regression work. Let's see how does it work. So it works like this, like, you know, we have we have, we have training data. What is training and test data, we will see a lot more detail in the further videos. For now, we just consider we have training data. Using this data, our model get trained. So what we do, we have a function where xi will go, and then we will, then the model will predict yi, and then model will predict yi, and then something, in short you can say there are a lot more detail. Model predict yi hai, yi is the actual data, yi is the actual data. What we do, we we find out the difference between the yi and yi hat, and then we find out the error, something called error. It's not exactly this, we'll see in a lot more detail. So using the training data, we train our data and makes a model that gives us the prediction, that gives us the predicted level. And then what we do, then for any new data, again we will go to ffxq, then model will predict by q hat. So this is how the this classification or regression kind of problem work. We'll see in detail later. So for now, just have higher overview that actually how does it work. So I think this is it for this video. Hope you understood whatever we taught in this lecture. Forget the last part. If it's not making sense to you, that is fine. We'll see in a lot more detail. We'll study much more things later. So this it is for this video, and see you all in the next video. If you find this video informative, so then please like and subscribe the channel, and bye bye. See you all in the next video. Till then, bye bye and take care of yourself.